5 months there learning the techniques of disruption. He then took an Aeroflot flight back to Paris, changed planes to a British Airways flight to London so he wasn't seen landing off a Russian plane, not realising that we had followed him all the way there and all the way back. And we'd been with him at the Institute and we'd been with him at the Feast of London, so we knew everything about his movements. And we had a decision to make. Did we let 150 agents go, because that's how many it took, because they could never work again once we published the story? Or did we keep it secret? We decided that the miners needed to know that their leader had been trained in Moscow and that his interests were not their interests. His interests were in the furtherance of the destruction of the United Kingdom, because I knew from personal experience that the average miner was profoundly loyal to the United Kingdom, and as long as he was given a fair deal, he would do anything for his country. So we got a friendly journalist at the Times to have a little column buried on the gutter inside, just explaining all about Scargill and where he'd been. There was no writ, because all of this was true, and he knew we knew. So my friend David Hart took these cuttings around from the Times. Why did we put it in the Times? The miners don't read the Times. That didn't matter. We were going to give them the cutting, but we knew that once they'd seen that cutting, they would believe it because it was in the Times. So that's how that worked. And then David, out of his own money, set up the National Working Miners Campaign, which carried ads, very expensive ads, in all the major newspapers and major TV saying, "Come on, Arthur Scargill, give us a ballot. Let us vote on whether we want to strike." And so eventually, David, through keeping very close touch with the miners, realised that in Leicestershire they were wanting to break away, and it only took one lot to break away and the rest would collapse. So he funded them, brought them into Downing Street so I could lead them, and some of them met the Prime Minister, and at my farewell party in Downing Street, 3 of them came to the party. Yeah. And so we broke the strike. And it was David Hart, who had never been thanked, he was never rewarded, it cost him a lot of money, he drove 29,000 miles that year in that boat, just visiting all these pits. That was how the strike was broken. So I'm going to end, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm told my time is shamefully already up, that if you wish to defeat communism, you must call it what it is and do not be ashamed to call it what it is. You must fight and fight and fight again. You must spend whatever effort and whatever treasure may be necessary. For there is something special about your constitution of liberty, your constitution which guarantees to you the freedoms that communism would take away if it could. My part is to destroy their global warming campaign. As soon as that paper is published, giving details of what I've shown you here, that is the end of global warming. That is going to set them back 20 years because they thought they were going to get away with it. Unexpectedly, very suddenly, very definitely, they are not. So I would end by saying to you this. It is always the most enormous pleasure for me to come and stand on this soil of freedom and to speak to people such as yourselves who are the great lovers of freedom. And I would like to end by saying to you what Winston Churchill said to your president during the darkest days of the Second World War. He said, he quoted from Longfellow, the Song of Hiawatha, "Sail on, O ship of state, sail on, O Union, strong and great, humanity with all its fears, with all the hopes of future years, is hanging breathless on thy fate." Thank you.
Bravo, John.